With this marriage series, I really want you to take a deep look at what marriage really means for you. A lot of people talk about marriage and they don't really know what that looks like for them, how they will be married, how they'll live out their life with their partner. And I want to give you a success story from my personal life that I feel will really inspire and help you dive into this question. Hi there, I'm Adila, your expert in all things manifestation. If you're new here, I'm a manifestation coach helping you create your ideal lifestyle by telling your ideal story. My motto is if I can help at least one person, I have done my job. If you'd like for me to help you create your story that's tailored to your specific desires, head over to my website, thisisyourstory.co, where I offer email coaching and free ebooks to help get you started. With the law of assumption, we are essentially working our way backward because of how we're taught as we grow up, as how creation works. Looking at it with the law of assumption, you're looking at it in a backwards way. And I had this idea years ago about like writing my obituary and using that as a technique or a way to, um, really like write my life story as if, people are, looking back on my life. And, with obituaries, you have your whole family, your whole lifestyle, where you, I don't know, where you went to college, who you met, who you married, how many children you had, where you ended up living. It has like your whole like bio in this obituary. And I want to talk about that and talk about a recent experience that made me look at what does marriage success look like to me. So I went to my grandmother's funeral on Saturday, and it feels true that you kind of never know um, what this person meant to you or meant to others until they're gone. When you're looking back on their life story and the legacy that they lived, and it really has me with this deeper understanding of like how I want to live my life, what legacy do I want to leave behind. And I'm very inspired by her life. And um, there's several things that come up and came up during the service, came up afterwards. And the most prevalent, I feel like, is how many lives she touched in such a beautiful way. And the fact that I was able to experience that firsthand. Um, she lived until she was 90, almost 91. And she she worked with children all of her life. She used to watch children for free, just to those in need, and then ran a daycare center. And um, I was one of those children who always felt like very loved by her. And she had the type of home where over the years, so many people would come and find refuge. And she was just always just that bright light, always just so welcoming, had a smile for days. And you never felt, I don't know, you just always felt good around her. And one of the things that feels so special to me about her is that she was able to make, I mean, she worked with hundreds of hundreds, like probably thousands of children and parents and families. And um, I know personally that everyone had their own special relationship with her. She made everyone feel special, everyone feel welcomed. Nobody was, treated better than the next. But my younger sister was one of her favorites. But I'm saying that to say because I never felt that I didn't have a special relationship because I knew, even though I knew my sister was her favorite, I would still feel loved by her. I would still feel that she cared about me. She would still show up for me. She would show up to graduations and graduation parties, and she was, you know, getting to be elderly where she couldn't even barely walk and stuff like that, but she was still showing up for everyone and never complaining about it. Never once did I hear her speak of anything, of, anything negative. Never complaining about people, never complaining about money, never complaining about not having enough money to feed. She would feed any and everybody. And she was a phenomenal cook. But um, when you go to her house, you would be fed with any and everything. Like anything that you can think of. She would feed you and have a house full of people in the living room, dining room, kitchen, outside. And this is all family and friends that have just like grown to love her and just she's adopted them basically over the years. Um, and she was married. And I like to look at her story as I don't know. Now I'm just looking at like, wow, how did they do that? And um, but her and her husband, they just left such a beautiful legacy. Between the two of them, they had, I believe, 8 children and grandchildren, great grandchildren. She had a great great granddaughter. Like it's just crazy. But the the thing that I want to point out and the reason that I feel like her life was so successful is because of how people feel and how connected they were to her. And this is a different type of success because a lot of people, and myself included, I would start to view success as like, I make all this money and I have all these tangible, riches that showcase that I am successful. The cars, the bank accounts, the homes, the luxury apartments. And to me, it doesn't really mean that much compared to someone like her. To me, I just feel like that is the most successful life that you can have, touching and caring about people in a way where they find solace in your presence. You're taking care of them. She would take care of our children for free. We would be struggling parents, and um I mean, and these were people she didn't even know, like. So another thing is she's not even my blood grandmother. She is my next door neighbor, and I just grew up and she was basically raising all of us. And but she would never it would never interfere. She was just so respectful, would never interfere with our parents' parenting. um, there's just so many things that came up during her service, and just how I'm looking back now about my experiences during, junior high, high school, and just growing up. And, after I had children and what she used to tell me about their partners and things like that. It was just always nice to have just like a safe haven or a place that you can walk in and feel welcomed and feel like you are loved. And it made me think of now like her legacy and like what I'm creating in my relationship when I decide to get married, and how to showcase that with, with you, with my audience, and like, what does marriage really mean to you? Like, what do you like? I want you to think about when you're creating this relationship with your person, what does that look like in your future? And I'm not saying that you have to like live like her or anything like that. I'm just saying, like, to really take a deeper dive into um, what your relationship will be like. You want to see yourself as, as this mother, not this mother, I'm sorry, as this married person. And who is your partner, and what legacy do you end up leaving? Like, you can write out your legacy now. You can describe where you lived, or if you want to move somewhere, you can say that, they ended up moving to such and such city in 2025. You can write these things out and manifest them in that way, where you are looking back, or you're writing your bio or your obituary, or just your living legacy, and describing your relationship. If you decide to have children, we had 3 children and a dog, and have those names listed out. Like, these are ways to really get into the experience of being a married person, because sometimes we get caught up into this place of like, I want to be married so much, and we don't really know what that looks like for us, and this helps it become and feel more natural. So I just wanted to share that because it's on the forefront of my mind, and it also has me looking at, you know how do I want to be, and allowing myself to have that. I mean, I've always really loved children, but um, I went off and had another career. But I do like the idea of having more children. And sometimes as I get older, I started to say, I don't know, I don't know, I don't know, which I, because I didn't have the person, or I was getting older, doctor was telling me, um there's more risk and all of that stuff. And I want you to allow yourself to have it, because all of those stories can build up and kind of get in the way of what you truly want. And and you can still feel successful without that. But the purpose of me talking about it in this video is to let you know that your success is defined, it's defined by you. It's defined by how you want to live. It's not defined by society and what they deem as successful. And we can get caught up in that. So often we can get caught up in like how much money you want to have, and I've done it myself. And that's not really I was watching the Bob Marley movie also. It's just, it is rich in intangible things or rich in love. And I'm not saying that manifesting money and all of that is not a good thing. That's not what I want this video to convey. I want it to show you that you are creating your legacy now, and you are living it now, and you're manifesting it now. So what do you want that to be? What do you want that to look like for you? What legacy do you want to leave? What impact do you want to leave on this world? I'm not saying that trust me, I'm not saying that you have to go out and like do anything special. You being authentically you is leaving an impact. So make your choice in choosing what that is for you. What will make you feel most content and most successful? Sometimes it's not in that career. I mean, you'll find that you get to the top and you're like, okay, I like it here, but it doesn't really do much for me. So, what does it for you? What makes you feel most amazing? If you like content like this, let me know by liking, sharing, and subscribing, and I'll see you next time. Bye for now.